Hey guys, I just completed a video all about contouring and highlighting, so if you would like to see how I got this look for today, then stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you.
So today I'm going to do a video on contouring. I've had some people ask me if I'm good at it, like if I love it, and I do love contouring. I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm the queen of contouring, but I enjoy it. I think I have some good tips and tricks, so if you want to learn a little bit more on contouring, then stay tuned. So the entire point of contouring, in my opinion, is to enhance what you have or diminish what you don't like. And I think that's what is so cool about makeup, is you can really kind of transform yourself and kind of like go from there. So the first step to any base makeup to me is prepping with a moisturizer. And sometimes you can prep with a primer. I have this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I don't always do primers. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like not into it. Today I'm not, because we're in quarantine, so nobody's going to see me up close and personal. So what I'm going to do is start off with my foundation. I use La Mer in the shade 110 Shell, and I do like to use a brush when I do foundation. So this is a good way to start any face makeup, is with your foundation and your brush before any contouring takes place. So what I do is I just pump like 1, 2, 3 onto the brush, so it looks like that, and then I kind of just like evenly distribute it onto the face like this, and I just kind of go in circular motions. I like to stipple, meaning like here and there. And then once I do stipple, I do like to massage it in like a circular motion. Don't forget your eyelids. It's very important. A lot of people, this is a public service announcement, do not stop at your jawline. Like some people are like, okay, I'm done with foundation. No, honey, bring it down to the neck. Bring it down. Get underneath. You want to make sure that the foundation really gets like becomes one with your normal skin tone. So we are stippling here. Sometimes, I don't know, I guess I have a big face. I feel like I need more foundation. Bring it down to the neck. I mean, I definitely have a big forehead, but like the face, come on. Stippling. When you stipple, it gets the product into the skin. And then from there, you can really transform it and move it around if you need to. So this is the foundation. La Mer. Oh, I love it. It's so expensive though. Like, I love it. It's a really good foundation. I got a sample in my I think I ordered something from Sephora and it came in a sample. And I was like, oh, let me try this. And I was like, oh, it's La Mer. Oh, fancy pants. And then I was like, damn, this is great. I love this. And then I looked up how much it was and I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? No, they were not kidding. So it's worth it though. Sometimes products are worth it if they're like really, really freaking good. So then this is the base that I have before I start contouring or doing anything with like bronzer or highlight, anything of that nature. This hair, what is happening? Okay, so the first step, I like to make sure I have all my tools before I go into it. So that's what I recommend you do too. So I have a wet sponge, dirty, but I have a wet sponge that I definitely recommend that you have. Definitely get out your, remember when I just said that I like to have all my tools ready? Maybe I should have had them ready before I did this video. Okay, here's the concealer that I'm using under the eye. And then I also have my pressed Laura Mercier, loose Laura Mercier powder as well. So that is for the areas of the face that I like to highlight and really accentuate and pronounce. On the other hand, when it comes to contouring, a lot of people think contouring is just like accentuating the cheekbones and the nose, but contouring is also part of the highlight process too. So all that stuff that I just talked to you about is accentuating and brightening and pronouncing certain areas of the face. Other portions, like I mentioned with contouring, comes to, you know, certain areas of the face that you maybe want to diminish or outline. So when it comes to that, I like to do a like a liquid. It's kind of like a liquid type of, it's not powder. I don't know. Anyway, so I use this palette for my contouring. It's called the Tarteist Pro Glow. And so my motto when it comes to contouring or anything, when it comes to even foundation, if I'm not going to put concealer under the eye that day, I always set my face. So I always go by the model, or like the term, I guess, the saying, if it's wet, then you need to set. So any liquid foundation, put a powder on top. If you do any highlight under the eye, set it afterwards because it can crease, it can move around throughout the day, especially if you have oily skin. So wet, set. Okay, cool. So I've already let my face like sit a little longer than I like to because I'm usually like onto setting it like immediately afterwards. So I'm just gonna make sure nothing has creased in the last like 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna go on with highlighting. So this is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It's a staple in a lot of people's makeup bags because it's really freaking good. So I like to go under the eye, brighten that. I swear you kind of look like you've got like war paint on, like you're ready. Tarte is really good. You don't really have to go back into the tube a second time. It's got a lot of product on the little thing. So I like to highlight this portion of my face right here. I do get a lot of redness near the nose, so I like to do that. And these are the areas on the face that I like to highlight, that I want to bring out and make look brighter. So one thing that I do, and I've learned recently from a makeup artist, her name's Harush. She does the Kardashians makeup. Of course I love him. But a lot of times people, when they put concealer on, immediately they go in with their sponge and they're like, let it sit for a second. Let it get a little tacky. Let it dry. Not like dry completely, but definitely let it just chill for a minute. Maybe count to like 20. Wash your hands. Wash your hands while you do this. And then when you're done washing your hands, then you can go in with your sponge. So this is a wet sponge, and this is what I'm going to use to blend everything out. I do like to do highlighting first, setting, and then I like to go in with the actual like contouring, the darker shades, then I set that. So I'm a 1-step, 2-step type of person. Some people like to do the wet and then the set and then the set, and I'm just like the wet set. Okay, so you take your sponge and you just blend it out. Focus on like lifting it up because you want to make sure that your eyes are awake for the day. Try to bring it up as high as you can. Then you can come down to the chin, around the nose, all this jazz. And you can already see how bright my under eye is. Like I said, you're just blending this out and trying to bring it up as high as you can. I like to bring it up towards like where the end of my eyebrow ends, like bring it up that far. That way your eyes are like, oh my God, she got 12 hours of sleep. Damn, girl. And then on the bridge of the nose, here, And then the forehead. Blend outwards. It's always like a good rule that I like to live by. Make sure you're like blending, like pouncing the sponge into the skin. And then if you have any excess, blend outwards. All right. So there's certain areas on my face, and I'm sure there's certain areas on your face where you know, like, okay, I have fine lines, or like I can see where things may settle throughout the day. So for me, my areas on my face that, sorry, I'm putting my powder in my little thing. Some areas on my face where I know that the makeup would settle throughout the day would be my laugh lines, and then under my eyes, and then also my forehead. So basically everywhere. So what I do is I take my Laura Mercier powder. You can't really see it too well because it's white. And I take my sponge and I just dip into it here, just like so. You want to have a good amount, but try and like shake off any excess, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take this part of the sponge and you're going to go under the eye and like kind of bounce it underneath the eye. This is setting the highlight that you just did. I'm going to do it with the other eye. I also get super oily right here beside the nose. So I'm going to actually apply some more powder and just let this like hang out. Okay, so it probably looks like hella white right now, and it should. So just leave it, let it set, let it hang out. So I'm putting this powder everywhere that I put the concealer. I'm putting more in the areas where I know I'm oily, and then I'm also putting it in the areas where I know that I'm gonna have some creasing maybe throughout the day, or you know, some whatever, I don't know. So my laugh lines right here, I'm definitely putting some. And you just like let it sit. So like I said, it's gonna look like a little white, like damn girl powder much. And that's okay. That's what we're here for. So you're gonna let that sit, okay? You're gonna look like real cute. So then I'm gonna go into contouring. Contouring the cheekbones and all that jazz. So I'm gonna open up my Tarteist Glow palette. Sorry, I just got a phone call during that little video, so pardon. That was a rookie mistake. I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Anyway, so I'm going into contouring now. I'm gonna use my Tarteist Pro Glow palette, and I'm going to go into, y'all, this shade is literally called Shade. This is kind of like a, God, why can't I talk? Like it's like a foundation almost is kind of what it feels like. So I just dip. I'm using my Morphe E8 brush, just dipping. I'm stippling into that. Now that might be a lot for, this is a darker shade, and it could be a lot for me. So what I always recommend is that when you stipple into the wet contour shade, just put it on your hand. Put a little bit on your hand. That way any excess can go there. And I'm always going to stipple into my cheek. And I know where I'm going to go because first off, I look at my face every day, so I just know. But if you don't know where to go, do like a fish, kissy face. And I always like to, like, if you can see the center part of your eye, the black part, I always like to like go, like draw a line right down the center and kind of like hit it right here. So my eye, the black part of my eye goes like right there, okay? And any part where like it'll crease up, go above it, okay? So I like to also use a guide from like maybe the top of my ear here down. So the top all the way down, and then center of your eye here. That's like a good base. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. And then you're done. No, I'm kidding. So then you, like I said, you wanna stipple into the face. And then you want to do it in a circular motion. You can always bring it up to the forehead. My forehead is huge, okay? I call it my 5 head because it's fucking huge. So I like to stipple the product, and I have some leftover, as you can see. I like to stipple it into the forehead, and I'm trying to make my forehead look smaller. So I'm gonna go around the tops here, okay? So this might seem kind of harsh. That's okay. I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna just hit the tops of my hand a little bit, and I'm also gonna go down here at the bottom. So Kim Kardashian, who I love, created her own makeup line, right? So she always liked to go with like a 3. So she always said like the 3 here. Because you want to define your jaw and your chin. So it's good to stipple right up in here. Okay. So you take the brush, and once you have it all applied, I like to go in with my sponge, the opposite side, like a non-dirty side, and I like to blend it in. Because I put the contour in the area that I want it, and then with the sponge helps so much with like blending stuff out. It will soak up some of the product too. So if you think like, oh damn, I put too much on, like the sponge will help soak up any excess product that you have. Okay. So your contour should look like this. As you can see, I went down, down. Now, if you think like, oh damn, I put way too much on, don't worry, it's okay. Once you blend it out with your sponge, and you've blended this side out too, I like to go in and immediately like set it. So I have this angled brush from Real Techniques. It's really nice, like I said, it's angled, it's nice. I go in with the powdered side of this contouring palette. I just dab it in. I hit the excess off because it could be a lot. It's always good to go in light-handed, and then if it is too much, we go and work around that. But always go light-handed versus heavy-handed. I'll stipple here because, like I said, I put a wet product down, so I'm going to put a dry powdered on top because I don't want this contour to move throughout the day. So as you can see, I'm stippling first, and then I'm working the product around. So I'm going to go back in here just a little, nothing crazy, because you already have the dark product down. I'm going to do the other side later, so this video would be like 5 hours long if I did both sides. So I'm just going, I'm also going to just line the bottom here. Okay, so this is what it would look like. Now, some people are like, wait, I like to contour my nose. Well, you're in for a treat. I like to, sometimes products, if you go in too dark with a product on your nose, it'll look like your nose is dirty. And we're not here for a dirty nose. So I like to just go in with a bronzer. So I use Hoola by Benefit. Hoola. Hit off any excess. This is a lighter shade, so it's not going to be super, super pronounced. I'm using the same brush to mix in some of the color. And then I'll lean in closer, but I just like to hit the nose. Okay, I'll do it on both sides. So as you can see, it's a little dark. It's okay. I'm gonna go back in, back in with my sponge, and I'm just gonna blend this out. Blend it upwards into the arch where my brow is. If it is a little dark for you, there is a solution, folks. You go back into your powder and you just go over. Powder your nose. So as you can see, it makes it dark right here. So it kind of brings my nose in, and then it also brings it in towards the bottom too. Okay. Now, sometimes you might start contouring and you're like, damn, it's really low. Like it seems like I brought it like way too down, like a little far. That's okay too. So what you go and do is you take your loose powder, you take the sharp edge of your sponge, you dab in here. I like to just get like a nice little bit, and I'm gonna outline so basically it's gonna hit at the bottom of my lip and it's gonna go back up kind of almost where I put the contour down for the ear. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit. You can also go back in. Okay, hello friends and family. So I got another phone call. I really should put on do not disturb, but I'm just not. So I put the powder here. Okay, and I did the other side in the meantime because I was like, man, fuck it. So I did all this jazz, definitely put some underneath your chin, or excuse me, your jaw here. One trick that I learned a while ago, I don't know when I learned it exactly, but if you want to have like a poutier lower lip, listen up. So I take the powder shade of the contour and I put it on this brush, hit off any excess, because you don't want it to look like you have a dirty bottom, a dirty bottom lip. Why is that so funny? But so you just have a little bit of product. You basically, like, I go like this. It's really cute. I go like this, and I just hit the bottom. So as you can see now, there's a little bit of a shadow. So it looks like a shadow, but in essence, it's actually some product. Some product underneath the lip. So it kind of gives you that little like, oh, who, me? Yeah. So that's a little trick that I like to use too. Like I said, it looks like it's a shadow under your lip, but it's really just some contour powder. See? So that's what I do. So once you've set your contour with the powder, and everything is good to go, you want to wipe off any excess powder that we had put under our eyes, any powder that you had put to set your laugh line, and then now you can brush off any powder that you had put in here. So I always like to blend like any excess powder that I had in this area. I'm going to blend into my contour. You want to make sure everything looks like one seamless look, and don't think that you're going to blend your contour away. You're not. It's already in the skin. You're like, it's there. It's there and it's ready to party. So just blend everything together. Okay. Okay. Now into the highlight. Like we highlighted a minute ago with the concealer. Now I like to go in with a powdered sparkle highlight. So my best tip for highlighting your, what are these called? These are cheekbones. And then you want to put your highlight basically in places where the sun would hit you naturally. So in this case, it would be your cheekbones. It would be right here above the brow. And then it would be the bridge of the nose. It'd be the top of the lip, maybe here on your chin, and that's about it. So in terms of going with the right shade for highlighting those areas, you want to make sure that you're considering your undertone. So if you are very fair skin, maybe some red undertone, you want to go with a lighter highlight. So in this case, like if you're very, very fair, I would go with this top shade here. If you're a warmer undertone, you'd want to go with gold. If you're darker skin tone, there would be darker shades for you to choose from and other palettes, but you just want to make sure that you're like, somebody doesn't look at you and they're like, damn, that girl's got a lot of highlight on. Like, you want it to look natural as hell. So because I have both like a neutral golden and some red undertones, I actually like to go in with this lighter gold color here at the top. It looks more natural on my skin tone. So I just take this Morphe brush. It's a M510, and I just touch the top of it, and there's a lot of product on there. So I just hit off any excess. And this is a very light stroke. Very, very light stroke. And you find your, like the bone, and you just take the brush and you're just gonna go over top. And my nose is running. So you're gonna see some highlight. Y'all, my nose is running. Holy shit, allergies is for real, y'all. How dare COVID come during allergy season? Like I said, you want it to be a natural highlight. As you can see, it does shimmer a little bit, and that's totally what we're looking for. Now, the highlight above the brow, basically like where your arch is where you're gonna hit. You see? You see that? It's very, very natural looking. So like I said, cheekbone, right above the brow. And then I like to take the same brush, dab in, and instead of going downwards, I like to actually go side to side. Okay, so I like to hit the bridge of the nose, so it does have some highlight there. And then I like to actually go down like this, so that y'all, these allergies, I cannot. Then I like to hit the edge of the nose too, just so it looks like cute little nose. I do take the same highlight and I go over top of the lip. And then I do hit the chin. Okay, so then I do that with the same side. And when I say same, I mean different sides. So there is some highlight you can't see. And then I do hit the tops. Okay, so it does like make you glisten a little bit. I do have oily skin, so I'm not gonna put it in areas where I know I get oily. Like, I know I get oily here and here and here and here, so I'm avoiding those areas, because if I have highlight on top of oily areas over the day, I'm gonna look shiny as hell. And we are not trying to look shiny, we're trying to look glowy and glistening, but we are not trying to look like some pan with Crisco on it. Okay, that is not the goal here. So after I do all that, I still like to go in either with a brush, or you can go in with your sponge. And I just like to kind of mold everything together. You're not going to move the product around. It's there to stay. It's there to party. So that's pretty much what I do for contouring. I do like to go in, like after I do all that, with a blush, just to rosy up the cheeks. And you're going to take it in areas where you know, like you would get sun. So you can bring it over top the nose. You can bring it over here. Bring it on the forehead, bring it on the chin. Like, look alive, y'all, look alive. You don't want to just look like super chiseled and like plastic, unless you do. I'm here for it. And then I also, after that, I do like to go in with some bronzer. I know it already seems like, damn girl, like what more can you put on your cheeks? But I like to warm the face up too. Put some down here, put some down here, and yeah. Now I would go on and do my brows, and then I would also go in and put some mascara on, and that's pretty much it. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, I know this was really long, but there's just so much to talk about when it comes to contouring. So any questions y'all have, let me know. If you want some more info on the products I use, also let me know. Missed one huge step. Once you're done with your face makeup, always set it. So this is a setting spray from Morphe. It's like 16 bucks. It's great. So what I always recommend when it comes to setting your face, never, and I say never, ever, ever scrunch your face up. Like some people, when they have stuff sprayed on their face, obviously your natural instinct is to go like, make a face like that. I just creased some of my makeup, so bear with me. But never do that. Keep a straight face and set this makeup, or set this, set your makeup with this spray. Just do it like about like a foot away. So, and then you just kind of fan it. So I'll let you watch. It smells bomb. And oftentimes people are like, oh my God, it's gonna mess your makeup up. Like, no, bitch, it's gonna let it stay forever. So, yeah. And it smells really good, like I just said. So, like I said, any questions y'all have, let me know. And I'm here to help as much as I can. All right, happy quarantine. Bye.